It is going to cost many quadrillions of dollars to solve the problem of tokenizing financial assets. The blockchains that can fix this on a large scale will be the ones that win, and investing in those blockchains will be the best way for people to get rich in history. As we speak, I'd like to talk about some facts about what's stopping tokenization from happening right now, what still needs to be done, how much value has already been tokenized on blockchains, and how much more needs to be done. And this movie tells you everything you need to know. First, let's get a sense of how big the problem is and what it means for us. Each and every stock, bond, currency, good, work of art, bottle of fine wine, rare car, piece of real estate, private business, and anything else of value in the world will turn out to be a token in the end. Everything of value will be a token on a blockchain. This is not a change, it's just the next step in the development of technology. It's not a coin or a thing, it's a line item in a public record. Digital assets will be used for everything valuable, and they will be used for all transactions valuable. The pieces of paper are not needed. DTCC handles $1.8 quadrillion a year. Get rid of it all. That's a big number. Everything will be done digitally. This is the best chance I'll see in my lifetime to make a lot of money, and it will happen when it does. The biggest wealth creation he'll ever see, and the biggest wealth creation we'll ever see. All we have to do is be ready and choose the right blockchains. After that, let's hope and pray that everything goes as planned. Also shown here is Clearbank, a possible Ripple partner that works with Coinbase, Kraken FX, and Crypto.com. They say that $2.2 quadrillion worth of stocks, bonds, real estate, and options will be turned into tokens. The real world of stocks, bonds, real estate, and swaps, which I'm sure Richard Barker in the room was talking about the other day. I know many of you have heard me say this a lot of times before, and it's $2.2 quadrillion. We also think that a big part of that $2.2 quadrillion will be turned into digital money or tokens over time. Because of this, we would disagree with Gartners. We believe we are in a bending point and not a trough of disillusionment. What do you want to do in, say, 30 to 60 years? All right, this is Jack McDonald from Ripple, in charge of stablecoins and RLUSD. He is the senior vice president. I just want to make sure you understand, because everything would have been fine if they had sat the right chairs. He would have been here. This guy who is in charge should have been here. Then Emma and this guy show up, but they switch seats. I didn't understand this at first when I saw it. I told them, wait, I just want to let you know. 90 days to come up with a plan. We think about the next 30, 60, or 90 days to come up with a plan for your new path. There's a lot to do. It's important to lock up banking allies. Also, just other service companies in the same field. You can't do it by yourself. We try to stay in our lane. Of course, we'll also ask for permission to make a safe coin. We are going to do that on both the Ethereum and XRP ledgers. Really happy about that. It's important to lock up banking allies. If you're a bank looking to work with a blockchain company, Ripple is one of the best teams to work with, because they come from the same professional background as all of these other people, right? They're not just some bros hanging out at home making a joke coin. These are important people who are meeting with central banks and the largest banks in the chain. Chainlink is going to be a part of this too. In this video, the CEO of Chainlink says that their team is working to fix a problem worth many quadrillion dollars. Quadrillions will be turned into tokens. 4 billion. 4 billion. That's right, that's the thing. I mean, people need to understand this. I'm not referring to an extra trillion. Quadrillions are what I'm talking about, okay? I think we know what the issue is that we're trying to fix. What kind of money could we be talking about? A lot of quadrillions. Larry Fink should kind of sum this up in 23 seconds. After that, we'll talk about how much value has been added so far. What are the main problems that are stopping a big bang or a flip of the switch moment? I know everything you need to know. For example, when it comes to Bitcoin, I've said before that we support digitizing goods. When ETFs came out, they changed the mutual fund business in a big way, and they're now really taking over. We also think that if we can make more tokenized assets and securities, which is what Bitcoin is, it could change the way we do banking again. Sure, but they won't use Bitcoin to do this, right? It would take too long and cost too much. And you wouldn't, right? There are a lot of other cool tools, and HBAR, you have the XRP record. A lot of this could also be done with Chainlink. What about Ondo? Why would you use Bitcoin? You're not going to. Okay, let's look at how much value has been tokenized so far and how much more needs to be done. What about 5 or 10 years from now? We'll talk about how much value will be tokenized on that date. How do we know what the expectations are? And what is stopping all of this from happening at the flip of a switch or much faster? I'm going to break it all down for you. Let's start with this. How much value has been turned into tokens so far? About $24 billion as of June 2025 is the solution to that question. Sensei, what value has already been turned into a token? I get it. About $13 to $20 billion out of $300 trillion has been spent on real estate so far. That's less than 0.01% of all the tokenized real estate that has been done. That means we haven't even reached 0.5 or 1%. $2 billion out of the world's $130 trillion in bonds and government company bonds. We've finished 0.001% of that. Treasuries and debt in the US amount to $1 billion out of $34 trillion, and that's 0.003%. Goods are worth $1 billion. $13 trillion is just gold, not even 0.01%. All of these real-world assets are worth $24 billion out of a total of $1 trillion, which is less than 0.01%. You can see that we haven't even gotten to a tenth of a percent, let alone a fifth of a percent. With the tokenization of financial goods, we are still in the very early stages. Why do some people say that this market will last forever? We haven't even reached useful now. We're not even close to this if you look at the numbers. Why is this not happening yet? Let's get some thoughts. First, let's make some predictions. Then we'll look at what's stopping it. So here are some predictions. Most predictions say that only a small part, between 2% and 10% of the world's big asset classes, will be tokenized by the end of the decade. This could be anywhere from $2 to $16 trillion in assets worth hundreds of trillions or quadrillions of dollars around the world. For example, by 2035, the value of tokenized real estate could hit $4 trillion. That's still a small part of the $300 trillion worth of assets in the global real estate market, right? Not even 2%.